You may be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is a case of Wooten Jr. versus Baccus.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Good day. Ms. Smith, you and your father, Mr. Wooten, are suing to prove Ms. Baccus is not his biological daughter. You say your dad owes more than $92,000 in back child support for a child who isn't his and is on the verge of losing everything because his income is being garnished by 50% each month to pay off that debt.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Baccus, you say that Mr. Wooten is your father, and when the results prove you right, you demand Ms. Smith and the rest of your father's family apologize for treating you so poorly.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Ms. Smith, how do you think Ms. Baccus has ruined your father's life?
Primarily through the actions of her mother by being very deceitful with my father from the very beginning of their relationship. They initially did not start garnishing his wages. It wasn't until later when he was started drawing Social Security that they began to garnish half of his wages. So up until the point that they started garnishing his wages, it was going into arrears, drawing interest, and now is over $92,606.06.
If that's the case, then he should have showed up when I showed up and when they took blood from me just to have the test. He should have showed up for the test and we wouldn't be here today.
Ms. Baccus is saying they drew blood.
Yes, ma'am. I was a young girl when my mama finally decided to have child support papers on him. She made me go to the doctors. First of all, I remember being young and scared, and I started crying for my daddy. He made me sit in his chair, and there were about 5 or 6 doctors that held me down and blew dry for me. And all I remember is I kept screaming for my father. And I ain't never stopped loving my father, and I ain't never stopped loving my sister, even if they don't claim me. But they gonna learn today. They gonna learn today.
Your Honor, my father never received any paperwork requesting his presence to have a DNA test done. He was not requested to come to court to prove that he was not her father.
My father knows I'm his child. And guess when I was conceived? I was conceived when a year later after him and my mother was together. And they was together for 7 years, so you tell me.
They were not together for 7 years.
See, and let me explain what happened. When
Yes,
I
Mr. Wooten.
met her mother, I think about 2 months after we been together, she said she was pregnant. 4 months after we was together, we broke up.
Well, Daddy, you and Mama got 2 different stories, and I'm coming to find out the truth
Because
That's
Ms.
right, we
Daniels
do.
is a liar.
So, Mr. Wooten, you're saying the relationship was 4 months long.
Yeah, and when she was 4 months pregnant with her, we broke up. I realized that most of the things that she was only interested in was me helping her financially. And one of the first things she asked me 1 month after we was together was to help her pay a car note.
When Ms. Baccus's mom said, "I'm pregnant," did you think it was your child?
I didn't question it that it wasn't at the time.
So when did you start doubting that?
When she had,
My mama said I was a
when
playing
she
child.
became pregnant again years later, and she wanted to get back together. When I got back together with her, I'd asked her, had she been seeing anybody else before we got together, and she said no. We got together 3 weeks after we was together. Then she
Father,
told me
no
she was
disrespect
pregnant.
and not to interrupt you, but my mother told me y'all sat on the couch and she told me that you had said that you wanted another child.
Yeah.
That's what was told to me. But you're telling me something different, so that's why we're here today, to get some order.
Your mother, when I met your mother 3 weeks into knowing her, she wanted to know why
She told me y'all was together a whole year and then I was born a year later.
Alondra, please.
Man, Daddy, I can't. I'm not even feeling nothing that y'all saying right now. That's why I brought y'all here and we finna find out the truth. Because you and Cece will apologize to me and my mother today.
I do not owe you an
You're not
apology.
gonna
Yeah, you are. You gonna
Other
see one.
No,
You gonna see
no,
one. Watch.
I will not.
You gonna pick your
Mr.
face up
Wooten,
today.
No, I won't.
Mr. Wooten, when you found out,
When I found out that she accused me of being the father of the second child,
yes,
and I told her that was impossible, and because we'd only gotten back together.
Because
is
my
Ms.
mom-
Baccus, wait, is Ms. Backus the second child?
No,
That's the first one.
Right.
So the first one, you felt like you were or were not the father. Ms. Baccus, you said, "I am the father" or "I'm not"?
I didn't really say anything. I just went along with what was going on.
You went
at the
along
time.
with it.
Yeah.
So, Ms. Smith, did you grow up knowing that there was a possibility you had
Yes, ma'am.
a sister?
Yes, Your Honor. I did grow up knowing that a child was born at the end of their relationship. As we were growing up, myself and my two brothers, we did not discuss Miss Baccus because we did not
Girl, don't
know
make both our brothers all
one
over
way
that grave.
or another whether she actually was my father's child, because Miss Baccus' mother has a long history with our family of being extremely deceitful, lying constantly.
My mom can be messy at times because she
mother
is real
is a
dramatic,
liar.
but I know she know who
Okay,
she was
Miss
messing
Baccus.
with. I'm tired of the rumors. Her kids found me on Facebook a couple of years ago. Found me on Facebook, was praising me. I'm glad, we found out, you the lost child. And
Miss Baccus sent me a Facebook request and I accepted it because I did know her. And then after I accepted the friend request, then she would post up pictures online. Don't me and my sister look just alike? No, we do not. We don't look alike.
Let me see that evidence. Thank you. This is a Facebook post.
Yes.
That's a picture at my granny's funeral.
And it says, gotta love your siblings, laugh out loud. I keep my father and brother on point, and I am my sister's keeper.
My grandmother made peace with me before she passed away. She told me about the rumors. She told me that she do not like my mother at all. Not only did my granny say that,
That
because
is
I started
not
to get up
true.
at the funeral and tell them what my granny said, but I said that's not the proper time.
My grandmother.
This is the proper time, because my
If
granny
you
loved me.
no.
And she said I am a Wooten. She said I walk like a Wooten. I look like a Wooten. I talk like a Wooten, and I ain't standing because I know I'm a Wooten.
If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell.
I am holding up a birth certificate. True enough, my mama was wrong for handwriting it in because he was not there when I was born. He came later. She wrote it in because she know who her baby daddy is. That's one thing my mama
let me
do know.
see this evidence. This is your birth certificate?
That was my birth certificate. But when I filed for my new one, it came up blank on his name. That means she wrote it in. Yeah, my mama probably, look crazy for making a crazy move, but she know who her father is.
How many lies?
So it
has
is
your
your
mother told?
contention that because your mother was so certain who your father
wrote
was,
it in.
she
wrote it
wrote
in.
his name in.
She wrote it in. My mother told me he was not there when I was born. He came later on, after in the hospital.
Do you have evidence as well, Mr. Wooten?
Well, I just have the original copy.
May I see that?
He never denied me.
And this is the original copy where the name of the father has been left blank.
But Your Honor, in this
So-
picture, it don't seem like that he denied me. And in this picture, with my sister holding me next to my mother, didn't seem like they denied me.
Will you hand those up, please? Please explain to me, what is this a picture of?
That is my mother. That's me in the middle, and that's Cece on the end. That's why I can't never stop loving her. And she making me mad right now, but I still got love because I am my sister's keeper for life.
Your Honor, as a young child, I did take that picture, and I am smiling on that picture. I did not know whether or not that she was my sister or not at the time.
And
It
so,
wasn't special to you,
Ms.
but it was
Smith,
special to
as
my
you
mother.
listen to Ms. Baccus's testimony, she was included in your lives at some point as a part of your family.
Yes, she was, Your Honor.
Do
However,
you remember as a child the moment when all of a sudden it was determined that she would be excluded instead of included?
Ooh. We
Your
can't talk
Honor,
about that.
the reason,
can't talk
the
about that.
reason is because she was not the only child that came through my family that ended up being excluded because they were not family. They were treated as family while they were there.
You want to sweep me underneath the rug so bad, but you're not going to do it, baby. I'm still her. You let me get old now, and I can talk up for myself. And I'm tired of you lying on that.
One at a time.
I am talking.
I don't care.
My-
when I
my
care about you, I'm
grandmother-
supposed to care about you now? Girl, please, I'm getting order today. That's why I brought you her.
One at a
That's
time.
order.
One
Yes,
at a
it's
time.
order.
Okay.
Yes, it's order, CC, because
Your
you
Honor.
out of line.
Miss Baccus is lying because my grandmother despised her mother.
Yeah, she hated
did
my mother.
not-
She hated my
she
mother.
didn't like
but
her
she
either
loved
because she
me.
looks just
You
like-
a
no,
lie.
she did
Daddy,
not.
did
No,
I
she
get
did
you
not.
and my grandmama
No,
back
she
together?
did not.
Did I
She
get
did
you and my
not
grandmama
claim
back
you.
talking?
No.
Hold on.
No,
So, Mr.
No,
Wooten,
you know
Let me
that's a
explain
lie.
that. I know she felt like she had a part of that. Why that came about is my mother was dying, and I, would not deny her. You know, in other words, my mother for years kept saying, you know she's not your daughter.
That's right.
And up to that point, when I told my mother, I said, yes, she is, you know. And that's when my mother decided to apologize to her.
If
So
I'm not
you
your
told
daughter,
your mother
I'm so gonna get out
that
of your
she
life.
is your daughter.
I stopped trying to stop the drama. Here, you have to understand
They
this.
only doing this because it's all about the money. It's all
My
about the
father
money.
is
It's
in
all
financial
about the money.
ruin
Okay.
If the
over
money
the
wasn't
money.
involved, they wouldn't be saying this, but it's cool because you've been hurting me for 34 years. I know how
I
to
have
take it
not.
Ms.
I am.
Backus,
Last
please
time I checked.
explain to the court what this is a picture of.
Okay, that's a picture of my mother and father when they was together. My mother held on to that chair for over 20-some-odd years. She didn't get rid of it till maybe about 8 years ago. You hear me?
Miss
Why would my
Daniels
mother
owned that
hold
chair
on to
before
something like
she
that?
was
A
dating
woman
my
ain't gonna
father.
hold on to
That
something
chair
like that
was
unless
not
she
that
knows.
special. She gotten it from another family member. That chair was not that special. During the time that her mother was with my father, when my father left for work, because she did not work, when she was at our home, she would have men come to our house.
You 12 years
All right,
old and you need
let's
to stay in
calm
your bed.
down,
What you
let's
not
calm
gonna do?
down, ladies.
You hear
Let's
me?
calm down.
What
Ms.
you not
Backus,
gonna
She
do?
would tell me that was either her cousin or one of my dad's friends. I did not know any difference. I did
You
not
can go jump
even
off a bridge
question
with that
her
statement.
about it
I swear,
because
like
I was
yesterday.
raised to have respect for adults. We did not stand in the room when adults were talking. When they were talking, we left the room. So I did not stay in the room when she was talking with them. But when my father came home, there was no mention of these men in and out of the home.
Girl,
It was
if that's because
later
you would
in
have said
life
that, and your country town would have been
when-
talking about that for a long, long
It was
time.
later in life
Please.
when hindsight, looking back on the situation, that I even brought it up to my father. Miss Baccus was so young, she did not know everything that was going on.
And so those experiences, seeing the different men.
Time after time, different circumstances
You
that
a
would
lie. Why
prove
you
to
lying on
us
my mama like
of
that,
how
bruh?
much more
Like,
of a
seriously?
liar that
Listen, you
Miss
gonna-
Daniels
And,
was.
and,
Eat
and that
your
is
words
the
today.
basis of your doubt, all right?
That was the basis of my
all right.
doubt.
I'd like
Okay,
to re-
no.
Hold on, Miss
I'm-
Backus. You gonna have to let me talk in this
I'm
courtroom.
sorry,
today.
Judge.
Okay.
All I want is for the financial ruin over the back child support, over $90,000. I want that to stop. If she is not his child, I want this finished and done with because he
And that
was
is
about
why
to lose
I
his
needed
home.
your help, Miss Judge.
When my father needed medical care, I was the one there taking him back and forth to his doctor's appointments. I was the one that was there at the hospital
But you're
with
not
him
the only
when
daughter.
he had surgery.
But you're not the only
I
daughter.
was the one that
You
set
are,
up
but
his
you're not the
medication.
only
Let her
daughter.
finish, Miss Backus.
I was the one there taking care of his wounds. I was the one that is still there helping him
They
take
know
care
why I
of
got
his
took
bills
down there.
that he could not afford. So if she felt so strongly that this was her father, where were you?
I'm gonna tell you where I was. I'm gonna tell you where I was. I'm gonna tell you where I was. Now look back at me. I'm
No,
gonna tell you
ma'am.
where I was. My
No,
mama
ma'am.
was protecting me, and me and you
Okay.
both know why. Yeah.
Protecting you from your own
Now,
father?
protecting me
Protecting
from your rumors, from all
Wow.
y'all rumors.
Okay.
Protecting me. That's why I got you here today. I called, not y'all. And then you sitting up here not claiming me. I really ain't got no
I
time for
didn't-
you. Because at the end of the day, I got a man that came in my life at 10 years old that brought me to my daddy. My stepdaddy brought me to him. You hear me? They sat at the same table. You hear me? So at the end of the day, my stepdaddy had to take me to my father because I was treating him like crap. He wanted to know what is the pain that this young lady is going through. So my stepdaddy loved me so much, he brought me down here so I could be with my father. And we have some type of relationship. I talk to him now. I talk to him on a daily basis, but now you want to come on and act like I am? You don't know?
All right.
You don't know? My talents and my skills and my face and my structure and me standing here by myself with nobody behind my side, even when her own daughter wanted to come stand by my side today, it's gonna show and prove that he is my father.
All right. Ladies, gentlemen, I think I've heard enough and I'm ready for the results.
I am too.
Jerome, would you please go and
Yes.
stand between the families? We want to make sure this is handled respectfully. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Wooten Jr. versus Baccus, when it comes to 34-year-old Alondria Baccus, Mr. Wooten Jr., you Do you want to watch Paternity Court on TV? Go to paternitycourt.tv to find your local listings. In the case of Wooten Jr. versus Baccus, when it comes to 34-year-old Alondria Baccus, Mr. Wooten Jr., you are not her father. I know this was not the answer you were expecting.
No, it wasn't, but I
And
had to do it. I had to do
Yes,
it
you
because I
did.
was tired of the rumors. I was tired of being treated. So now I know why I got treated like I am, and I'm good. I wanna apologize to the Wooten Prairie Clayton family for my mom's BS. Cece, I came here with the confidence of knowing he was my father and knowing you was my sister. So now that I know the truth, I'm sorry. Mama, you gotta pay that back.
She'll always be the daughter to me. It doesn't matter.
Mr. Wooten, as it relates to the back child support, this is a situation you will have to take up in your home state. There is no guarantee under the law that that debt will be canceled out. Well,
If he needs my help, I'm gonna help him. Cause my mama know I stand for the truth. That's all I ever wanted.
well, family, I'll tell you, this has been an emotional day, and I just hope that going forward, the passion that you exhibited on opposite sides will lead you toward one another. It sounds like your whole family knows this young woman. And so maybe you all can extend an olive branch and let her know that she's not alone. You're gonna have a conversation with your
Anything
mom.
that don't kill me, make me stronger.
Yes,
This
absolutely.
didn't do nothing but add to me.
Absolutely. I wish you all the very best.
Thank you.
Court is adjourned.